Welcome to my channel. Game of Thinking is Para. What if your mind had a hidden superpower that could transform your life? In this powerful summary of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, we break down the life-changing lessons that can help you overcome fear, rewire your thinking, and unlock your full potential. You'll discover how to reprogram your subconscious, manifest your desires, and use visualization techniques backed by real-life examples and scientific insights. The video title, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, book summary that will change your life. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the subconscious mind? Imagine your mind as an iceberg. The small tip above the water represents your conscious mind, logical, analytical, the part of you that thinks, reasons, and makes decisions. But the massive bulk hidden beneath the surface, that's your subconscious. It stores every experience, every belief, and every emotion you've ever had. And it controls nearly 95% of your daily actions, reactions, and decisions, often without you realizing it. Dr. Joseph Murphy describes the subconscious as the seat of your emotions, your memory, your habits, and your intuition. It's not creative in itself, but it obeys the commands it receives from your conscious mind, especially those loaded with emotion. In essence, your subconscious doesn't question what you feed it. It just accepts it and works to make it real. Think of it like a fertile garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. Whatever you plant, whether it's fear or faith, love or anger, will grow. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, negativity, and scarcity, your life will reflect that. But if your thoughts are filled with belief, confidence, and abundance, you'll begin to see opportunities and results that align with those thoughts. This idea isn't just philosophical, it's deeply rooted in science. Studies in neuroscience show that most of our behaviors and decisions are driven by subconscious patterns formed in childhood. From ages 0 to 7, our brains are in a highly impressionable state, absorbing information like sponges, often without filter. Those early experiences become the scripts we follow for the rest of our lives, unless we actively choose to rewrite them. Murphy's insight is that your subconscious doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. If you visualize success vividly, your subconscious starts to accept it as real and begins influencing your behavior, emotions, and physiology in ways that move you toward that image. That's why Olympic athletes use mental rehearsal and why affirmations, prayer, and meditation can have such profound effect. Another way to understand it, your subconscious is like a powerful computer, and your conscious thoughts are the code you're programming it with. But here's the twist. You're always coding, whether you know it or not. Every word you speak, every emotion you feel, every belief you reinforce, it's all programming. That's why awareness is everything. Want to change your life? Change what you consistently feed your subconscious. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am worthy and capable." Swap "I'll never succeed" with "Everything I need is within me." This is more than just positive thinking. It's subconscious reprogramming. It shifts your identity, and your identity shapes your reality. Murphy believed that your subconscious is the link between the spiritual and physical worlds. When you impress your desires onto it with faith and clarity, it moves circumstances, people, and ideas to help bring that desire into form. It's not magic, it's mental discipline. So, what is the subconscious mind? It's the hidden driver of your life, a loyal servant that executes whatever commands you give it, without judgment. The real question isn't whether it's working. It is. The real question is, what are you programming it with? And then to now, how your subconscious controls your life. Now that we understand what the subconscious mind is, let's explore how it actually controls your life. Quietly, constantly, and often without your permission. Imagine waking up and reaching for your phone. You didn't consciously decide to do that, it's just a habit. Multiply that by the hundreds of unconscious actions, decisions, and emotional reactions you have every day. These aren't random, they're the work of your subconscious mind running pre-installed programs. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, your subconscious is the storehouse of all your past experiences. Every belief you hold about money, love, health, success originated somewhere, often in your early years. Over time, these beliefs turn into unconscious patterns that guide your behavior, like an invisible GPS. If you believe deep down that you're not good enough, that belief will show up in your relationships, your work, and even your health. This programming also explains why willpower alone often fails. You might consciously want to lose weight, find a better job, or start a business. But if your subconscious mind holds conflicting beliefs, you'll sabotage yourself without even realizing it. You'll procrastinate, feel anxious, or find reasons to quit. Not because you're weak, but because your subconscious isn't aligned with your conscious goals. The good news is, once you recognize these patterns, you can change them. You can choose new beliefs, install new habits, and train your subconscious to work for you instead of against you. Real-life examples show this vividly. Someone who believes they're lucky often ends up finding opportunities everywhere. Not because they're lucky, but because their subconscious is tuned to notice and act on possibilities. Another person may believe they're always overlooked, and guess what? They are, because they subtly act in ways that reinforce that story. Murphy's message is clear. Your outer world reflects your inner world. If your life feels stuck or out of sync, the root isn't out there. It's in the subconscious beliefs you carry inside. So ask yourself, what stories are you telling your subconscious every day? Are you feeding it fear or faith, scarcity or abundance? Are your actions aligned with the life you want, or are they echoes of an outdated self-image? Awareness is the first step. Once you become aware, you take back the driver's seat, because the subconscious isn't your enemy, it's your most powerful ally. And when you align your conscious desires with your subconscious programming, that's when real transformation begins. Techniques to reprogram your subconscious. Now that you know how your subconscious controls your life, let's talk about how to reprogram it, because this is where the transformation begins. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, your subconscious is always listening, and it responds best to repetition, emotion, and belief. So if you want to change your life, you must repeatedly feed your subconscious new instructions, ones that align with the life you truly want. One powerful method is affirmations. These are short, positive statements you say to yourself out loud or silently to replace negative thought patterns. For example, instead of saying, "I always fail," you say, "I am successful in all that I do." Repeating affirmations daily, especially with feeling, creates new mental pathways. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept them as reality. Another key tool is visualization. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you visualize yourself succeeding, healing, or achieving a goal, you're training your subconscious to believe it's possible. Top athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers use this method because it works. Auto-suggestion is another method Murphy emphasizes. It involves impressing your desires onto the subconscious through relaxed focus, often right before sleep or immediately upon waking, times when your brain is in a more receptive state. At these moments, your conscious filter is low, allowing your subconscious to absorb suggestions more deeply. Murphy also highlights the importance of prayer and spiritual belief. When combined with faith and clarity, prayer becomes a powerful channel to plant positive seeds in your subconscious. This isn't about religious ritual. It's about connecting deeply with your desires and trusting the process. Then there's emotional healing. You must let go of resentment, guilt, and fear, because negative emotions are like poison to the subconscious. Forgiveness, gratitude, and love are powerful antidotes. When you let go of what's holding you back, your subconscious becomes fertile ground for new growth. Consistency is crucial. One affirmation or one visualization session won't change your life overnight. But with daily practice, the neural circuits in your brain begin to rewire. Your internal dialogue shifts, your energy changes, and that's when results begin to show up in your external world. Think of your subconscious as soil. Every word you say, every image you dwell on, every belief you repeat, that's a seed. Most people plant weeds and wonder why their garden never blooms. But once you start planting intentionally, your life begins to flourish. Murphy shares countless success stories, people who healed from illness, by reprogramming them. These aren't miracles, they're results of disciplined inner work. The subconscious doesn't play favorites, it simply responds. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be persistent. Choose your words carefully, speak to yourself with love, practice daily, and over time you'll notice a powerful shift, not just in how you think, but in how life responds to you. The techniques work, but only if you do. So start today. Your mind is listening. These are the one work that started. They visiting Bilden with don't, and then called to approaching of mentology. Today it's ideally says my down to speaking about overcoming fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. Against the telegy convince of down to do, if the subconscious mind is so powerful, why do so many of us stay stuck in fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs? The answer lies in emotional conditioning. From a young age, we're taught to be careful, to avoid risks, to not expect too much. These messages, often repeated by well-meaning parents, teachers, or society, get imprinted into our subconscious, and they stick. Dr. Joseph Murphy teaches that fear is not your enemy, it's a signal. It shows you exactly where your subconscious needs healing. Fear arises when your subconscious is holding on to a belief that no longer serves you. For example, if you're afraid to speak in public, it's likely because your subconscious believes you'll be judged or rejected. That belief formed somewhere in your past, and it's now running your reactions in the present. The key is not to suppress fear, but to reframe it. Ask yourself, what belief is driving this fear? Once you identify the belief, you can begin to challenge and replace it. Instead of I'm not good enough, try I am learning, growing, and capable. It may not feel true at first, but the subconscious doesn't require proof. It only requires repetition and emotional engagement. Murphy also emphasizes the importance of forgiveness. Holding on to resentment or guilt is like feeding poison to your subconscious. It keeps you tied to past pain and blocks new energy from flowing. When you forgive, not just others but yourself, you release those blocks. You make space for new beliefs to take root. Another powerful tool is mental rehearsal. Visualize yourself doing the thing you fear, but successfully. Picture the audience clapping, the room smiling, your voice calm and confident. When done regularly, this kind of mental imagery reshapes your internal model of reality. Your subconscious begins to see the fearful event not as a threat, but as a possibility. You can also use pattern interruption. When a limiting belief pops up, like, I can't do this, interrupt it immediately. Say out loud, that's not true anymore, and replace it with something empowering. Over time, you train your brain to choose new responses. The most important step? Compassion. Don't beat yourself up for having fears or doubts. Your subconscious was only trying to protect you. But now, you have the power to teach it a new way. Real-world applications and transformations. Now let's bring everything together with real-world applications. Because theory is powerful, but transformation happens when these ideas come alive in your daily life. Dr. Joseph Murphy's work is filled with stories of people who applied these subconscious principles and saw dramatic shifts. One woman, plagued by chronic illness, began affirming daily, every cell in my body is now being filled with health and vitality. Within months, her symptoms began to disappear. She combined this with visualizing herself running, laughing, and feeling energized. Her subconscious took these images and beliefs and worked them into her physical reality. There's also the businessman who, after years of financial struggle, decided to rewrite his mental script. Every morning he declared, I am open and receptive to wealth in all forms. He imagined checks coming in, clients calling, and deals closing. Over time, his confidence rose, and he started to notice opportunities he previously ignored. His external results changed because his internal identity shifted first. Relationships transformed too. One man, tired of heartbreak, realized he subconsciously believed he was unworthy of love. He worked on that belief, repeating, I am worthy of a deep, healthy, lasting relationship. Slowly, he attracted people who treated him with the respect he had started to show himself. Even athletes use these tools. Olympic champions visualize their performance in exact detail, feeling the muscles move, hearing the crowd, experiencing the win. They mentally rehearse success so vividly that by the time they compete, their subconscious has already lived the victory. But it doesn't stop there. You can use these principles in everyday challenges. Struggling at work? Begin each day affirming, I am focused, calm, and capable. Everything I need comes to me with ease. Facing anxiety? Use visualization to create an internal scene of peace and safety. Feeling stuck? Ask your subconscious a question before bed like, what's my next best step? And be open to answers that arise the next day. These aren't tricks. They're strategies that align your deepest mind with your highest potential. They work best with consistency and belief. Start small, but start. The shift begins inside. Conclusion? So, what have we learned? The subconscious mind isn't just a concept, it's the engine quietly driving your life. And once you understand how it works, you gain the ability to shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your results from the inside out. Dr. Joseph Murphy showed us that we're not victims of circumstance. We're participants in creation. Every belief you repeat, every image you hold, every word you speak is either reinforcing the life you want or the one you're trying to leave behind. You now have the tools: affirmations, visualization, emotional healing, belief rewriting, and daily practice. You've seen how people have transformed their health, wealth, and relationships by reprogramming their subconscious. And you know that it all begins with a simple, powerful decision to take control of the inner narrative. So here's your challenge. Don't let this video be another piece of inspiration you forget by tomorrow. Choose one technique, practice it every day. Watch what happens when your subconscious begins to believe in your potential as much as you do. Because once your inner world shifts, your outer world follows. If this video helped you, make sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more life-changing insights.